The Buda Area Chamber of Commerce welcomes you tonight, and as public service that we provide every year for the Buda and an area community, we enjoy hosting these candidate forums so that we give y'all and the taxpayers of Buda and the surrounding area an opportunity to listen to what our candidates have to say. On Hays County Clerk. The main duties of the County Clerk are to serve as Clerk of the County Court and the County Commissioner's Court, act as Recorder of Deeds and other instruments, issue marriage licenses, and take depositions. Sometimes those two go together. The candidates for County Clerk are Linda Duran. Linda Duran has more than 22 years of experience in county government, starting as an intern, then mastering every job up the ladder to Assistant County Clerk. She feels the office is a vital part of county operations, and it serves as the trusted keeper of all personal records. Elaine Cardenas. Elaine Cardenas is our Hays County Clerk, is a proven leader, ready to address the challenges ahead. Previously, Dr. Cardenas worked for many years as a senior executive for some of the nation's most respected social policy research firms, managing large, complex government programs. She has an MBA and a PhD. I give you your Hays County Clerk candidates.
Thank you. Okay, so let me explain the format. Each of you will get 2 minutes for your opening statement. We're going to have questions for each of you. Depending on the time right now, we're going to allocate 2 minutes per question. So again, you're going to get an opening statement for 2 minutes. We're going to have 3 questions that you'll each be given 2 minutes to answer. So let me go ahead and start with Linda, and then we'll hear from Elaine for your opening statement.
My name's Linda Duran. I've had 22 years experience in the clerk's office. I was born and raised in Hays County. Never saw a need to leave such a great place. Nothing has hindered my dedication to the job, my 4 children, or even a time when I had a trach. I still showed up to work. I was dedicated. There has not been a setback that I will not overcome. I feel that I am the best candidate for county clerk because of the experience. I've worked for 5 county clerks. So things change, and if you stay with it, sorry, breathing difficulties, challenges. By working with multiple clerks, I've learned, I've trained, and I've built my character and myself from them. I took them serious as mentors. The county clerk's office does handle more than just commissioner's courts. It also is the clerk to county court at laws 1, 2, and 3, where I spent most of my time frame in. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to hear from Elaine with your opening statement.
Thank you. Most people don't know what a county clerk does, even after John's description of the job, but it is a really important job. My name is Elaine Cardenas, running for re-election as the Hays County Clerk, and I'm responsible for the county's most important records, including many of yours, your births, deaths, marriages, and your property records, among other things. And you may not have much contact with my office, but you'll probably come there for some of the most important events in your life, your births and marriages, for example. Unfortunately, the records are vulnerable to many kinds of threats. The Department of Homeland Security has identified county clerks' offices as targets for many major crimes, including identity theft, property theft, and even cyber attacks from abroad. So the security of records is one of my top priorities, and I work closely with our IT director. We do have a very robust system in the county. I want to assure you of that. with multiple off-site storage facilities. And we continue to monitor all of that. I've recently put in place a fraud alert program to give added sense of protection for your property records. Another priority of mine is making it as easy as possible to do business with my office. So you'll soon be able to get any of your vital records online without ever having to come into the office. And we will be one of the very first counties in the states to issue marriage licenses remotely. I'm also concerned about money. Most people don't know my office supports a lot of what we do with funds that we raise through fees we charge for our services. But I keep my eye on the money anyway and find many opportunities for saving money. We're automating one of our key functions, which will save us an enormous amount of money. So I hope I'll have your vote to continue what I've started. Thank you.
Okay, thank each of you for your opening statement. We're now going to go to questions, and you'll each have 2 minutes. And I'm going to start with Elaine this time. The question is, what do you see are the 2 most important issues that you will focus on as county clerk?
Well, you've already heard people talking about the explosive growth of our county, and that's inescapable, the impact on all of us. But along with that come unprecedented job shortages and other threats, some of the social changes that are tearing our country apart right now. And they will interact in ways that we can't really predict. But I think the 2 things that I would want to focus on, the 2 issues is sort of balancing technology and what technology can do to help us address the variable and unpredictable demand that we're facing. But at the same time, we need to take care of our staff. And our staff members are leaving in large numbers, not because they don't like the place, because they do, but because they need more money. The salaries are just woefully low. They can go down the street to any one of the fast food restaurants and earn $2 an hour more. They need to take care of their families, and they're not buying necessities. They're not going on vacations because of gas. They're moving in with their parents when they're 40 years old. It's just not acceptable. They need better wages and better pay. And they also need to be recognized for the complexity and challenges of their jobs. They're not just clerks, as I've heard them referred to in the county. They perform responsible jobs that require them to diffuse angry situations, to serve customers well, to use multiple databases, to prepare financial reports, and so on and so forth, much more than an entry-level clerk does. So I want to take care of them, make sure that their value is recognized and they're paid appropriately.
Thank you. Okay, Linda, would you like for me to repeat the question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So what do you see are the 2 most important issues that you will focus on if elected county clerk?
The first one would be staffing the office. Like she mentioned, staff has left. A total of 25 within the last 13 months out of a 31 staff team. So that is a significant problem. Serving as a public servant for 22 years, or actually 24 years, October 1st, you don't do the job because of the pay. You do the job because that's your passion. That's what you're called to do, serve others. So I believe I can recruit the right people to fill those positions, train them personally, so that way they can assist you when you come in. The second important thing that I would focus on is reopening the satellite offices. With the growth, we cannot have 3 vacant offices. The constituents you want to go to your hometown for your county clerk needs. You don't want to have to travel 45 minutes to get a document, to file a document, to speak to a person because phones aren't being answered, And actually, to add to that, I would also change the business hours to where you don't do that drive to a San Marcos location and arrive to a locked door.
Okay, very good. Okay, now the next question is, What safety measures do you, I'm going to go ahead and start with Elaine on this one. Elaine, what safety measures do you currently have or would you like to see put into place to protect the public information that you are custodian of?
Oh, well, one of the things that I plan to do is to engage the Department of Homeland Security. They have a number of different assessments that they can do and will do for free to the county, where they'll come out and look over everything that we're doing and identify any potential vulnerabilities. And I want to do that in concert with our IT director, but that's one of the primary things. And there are a few things that we can do, I think, to tighten up security in the office, such as, the two-factor authentication, I think they call it, on everything that we do. So they're just a number of little things like that, but I think the starting point is the Homeland Security assessments.
Very good, thank you. Okay, Linda, I'll repeat the question. What safety measures do you currently have or would you like to see put into place to protect the public information that as county clerk you would be custodian of?
The first thing I would do is remove access from employees' personal computers. That's the first security breach that I know of. Employees that are working from home are accessing the databases from their personal equipment. Another thing I would do for personal security, sorry, I lost my train of thought. To make sure new hires, before they get to actually touch the database, that they are actually taking the security awareness program that the state requires and mandates of each employee. Why allow them to risk the data that we're preserving for a lifetime?
Okay, very good. Question number 3. You've kind of touched on, each of you, a little bit on this, but I'm going to state the question anyway. So I'm going to start with Elaine. What procedures or focus that you currently have will you do differently in the county clerk's office, or what would you like to keep the same?
Well, I think we've put in place a number of things that are working well for us already. We reorganized the staff to more into specialty groups, and that's allowed us to it allows us to train them more quickly for their jobs instead of taking a long time. Previously, everybody was trained to do everything in the office. I think 35 people all knowing everything that our office has to do is way too much and very inefficient. So they're now working in specialized units where they need to learn just a few tasks, and they can build more ownership. We can assign people based on their strengths to the things that they do best and are most suited to. And also we can outfit them and have at their workstations with all of the equipment and materials they need so they don't have to queue up at a central location. It's just much, much, much more efficient, and we'll probably continue to do that. I'm also planning to implement a new service for the public. They call it in this field the Records on the Run, which is a mobility program so that we can reach people who can't access our services easily because they have to stay at home for some reason, have some sort of disability, or they don't have access to Wi-Fi. We want to reach them. There are quite a few out in the community, and so we want to take our services to them. So we're going to try that in the next year.
Very good. Okay, Linda, same question. What procedures would you do differently in the county clerk's office, or what would you like to see kept the same?
So like I touched on, changing office hours, closing at noon on a Friday while the other offices in the building, they have to handle the burden that that office should be dealing with themselves. And I say this because since my leave, September of last year, I now work in the district clerk's office. So I see those customers come in, with complaints, with concerns as to why they're not able to meet timing requirements for their filings. So yes, that's one of them I would change. Second, like Elaine touched, it is good to establish that the employees get dedicated work to what they do. So I would like to see separation, because it is two separate divisions housed in one location. The second floor of the government center is a courts floor, so I would like to see the court staff stationed there, and the official public record staff stationed at a separate location, maybe a ground location to where elderly public can come in and not have to deal, with an elevator not working in the building.
Okay, very good. You will each get 1 minute for a closing statement to touch on anything that you feel like you want us to know about that was not being covered in the questions. Elaine, I'm going to start with you. 1 minute.
Okay. Well, as you can probably tell, this is not a clerical job, as the title might suggest. It is a senior executive position in the county, and it requires someone with a background in management and leadership who can lead the office forward, and in particular to prepare us, look forward strategically 10 years to make sure that our office is ready for the challenges that are going to be posed by the enormous growth of our county and the other challenges that accompany that. I do have the background for that. I worked in Washington, D.C. for many years as a senior executive for some of the nation's leading firms, including Gallup. And I led large teams on complex projects. I have many, many resources at my fingertips and tools I can bring to bear on any problems that might come up. I have an MBA and a PhD, and I'm eager to continue what I started. My name again is Elaine Cardenas, running for Hays County Clerk, a re-election as Hays County Clerk, and I hope I'll have your vote. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Okay, Linda, your closing statement, please.
Experience is needed. The clerk's office is important. I would like you to know that the leader should have the knowledge that they're holding the office for. And that's what I have gained through that 22 years of experience. Hays County is not a corporation. We're a county government. Once you start treating it like a corporation, there's going to be expenses involved. And who pays for that expense? Taxpayers. So I believe I am the one you want in office, as I ran it for the last 3 years for Elaine Cardenas. I kept it together, and in my short absence, 25 employees have left. So that should speak of my leadership.
Okay, very good. We thank you all very much for your inputs.
All right, great job. Thank you, candidates for county clerk.